Hello everyone and welcome to Revoltech, and today we have a production Model-02 Evangelion Revoltech figure review, and this is the reissue version that is widely available right now. I wanted to review other figures that unfortunately are delayed because of shipping issues with the holiday season, but I have this guy for review for a while now, and I really am a big fan of this series. Now, Revoltech has improved a lot over the years on their Evangelion figures, and I actually have an older EVA-02 here for comparison later on, but I'm going to just putting it to the side.
Follow me. I'll cover you.
Let's take a look at the box. So this is the reissue box. It is called Evangelion Evolution, and I like the design overall. I like that they're very similar, all the boxes. The only thing that changes is the color. You have a lot of different action poses that we can recreate. And there you go, it falls down. Now, what does the figure bring? These Revoltech figures normally bring a lot of things. One of the things that I like is that they bring the new Revoltech stand. They should have a claw, but I think I lost a claw. It probably is in my accessory box. It is very similar to a Figma stand, and I like it very much. We have a small bag to put the accessories so we don't lose them. Let me first show you hands. So these figures always bring a lot of different hands. So we have two grabby hands to grab that little gun thing that I was having before. Oh, my head fell down. We have two different open pose hands, two open hands, two choking hands, knife grabbing hands. This can be very useful for this figure. Two fist hands, and finally two shopping pose hands. Can you focus? Yes. Now the hands are really well molded, and all of the figures from this line normally bring this wide range of hands, all of them. That's really a nice thing about them. Another thing that this figure brings is alternative parts for both the shoulder and the forearms. So we have the normal forearms, very well sculpted, well painted, some small defects but nothing too serious. So one of the things is that the paint jobs on Revoltechs are not as good as, for example, Figma's. And then we have these alternative shoulder parts that are for a specific scene of the movie, and they look very good. They are not easy to swap, let me tell you that, because a lot of times Revoltechs they come too tight. So we see this peg, this small little peg, can come loose very easily. Now, there are two solutions for this. One is use a dryer to loosen the parts. Another is hot water. So you can dip parts of the figure in hot water, and what it will do, it will loosen the joints from the place that they are pegged, and you can swap them easier. But first, let me show you the rest of the accessories. We have two knives. They're really well made, and you can basically grab them with the grabby hands for the knives. But they are actually for a better pose, but yeah, you can do that. We have this, I don't know how to call this beast gun. Again, very well sculpted. The paint job could be a little bit better, but I do like that they have this metallic finish in some parts. It's not just this gray, so it does look very good. We have the umbilical cable, which you can peg on his back to have, so because Evas run on outside power. We have this little energy core. This is the core for, you know, the angels, and you can peg this on the stand. You can peg this on his foot. You can peg this in a lot of different places, and you have here these little things where you can actually put the knives, and this is like a great pose that you can do with the knives and with the stand and with the figure, so it can look very good. Then you actually have this other stand. You have these parts that come off, and you can pose them in different places that are to simulate an attack from the angel. You can really go to town on posing them, and here you can peg the figure for some specific poses. So now this again is part I really dislike more, is pegging the figure in some parts. But okay, so we got here the figure, it's supposed to be, and then you can rotate the figure on this stand. So very nice idea. I do like a lot of the things that they do, and you have actually another one that is bigger, so you can exchange, and it is a lot of stuff that this figure brings. Overall, I do enjoy it. I think it is not as good as some other of the Revoltech from this line, because I prefer the old design. Even though this figure is much superior to this one, and we're going to see it in the articulation, this design from the show, I believe is better than this one. I really am not a big fan of this little head thing that they added, and I don't know, I like the simplistic color palette of the original better than this one.
And now comes the interesting part. Let your fingers get in there and have a good old rub-a-dub.
We have a Revoltech joint on the head. We have another Revoltech joint that comes off too easy on the neck. Allows great range of motion. Up and down. If you know, the Revoltech joints are basically small ball hinges that are very clicky, and these ones are very clicky indeed, except for the small ones. But they do give you great range of motion. Then we have another Revoltech joint here. This one is not that clicky, but works very well. You can rotate along the peg. Small one in the hands. Then we have two Revoltech joints, one here and one here. Should allow for a great damn crunch and very good leaning back. And I have parts falling off. Gonna catch it later. Is that small peg there that is being problematic. Then here we have just a swivel to kick forward and back. A small paint issue there. Then we have a Revoltech joint on this beginning of the leg. This part is just hinged to kind of hide that joint, so it allows you to spread very far. And if you can control here to have a small swivel. Another Revoltech joint, very clicky. Another big Revoltech joint on the foot, really clicky too. And then we have a toe band. The articulation itself is very good, but Revoltech joints do force you to play around a lot to get the poses that you want, but it does allow you for great posability. So comparing the articulation of this one compared to this one, the big change, the big improvement is on first hiding the joints. These joints were too big and they were too immediately visible. And then you had this problem here that you can only have like one swivel here and one swivel here. So there was no Revoltech joint here to actually get any real spread, it would be all angled, and it was really not that good. Here it is, the articulation is much better. And as you can see, I have already taken off those pegs. So we can actually put the new shoulder parts on the figure. Let's see. So I only put some heat on it, and it was enough. And here you go. We have a new shoulder part. There you go. You have the new bulkier shoulder pads. They look good. Now they're a bit looser, but it is okay. They still look very good. Revoltech Evangelion from the movie The End of Evangelion. Legacy of Revoltech Evangelion EVA 01. Bandai High Grade Model Kit EVA 00. Figma RAM from ReZero starting life in another world. SH Figure Arts 02 from Darling in the Franxx. Robot Damachi Sterlizia from Darling in the Franxx. So while this figure is not perfect, especially with the tightness of some joints, some are too loose, some are too tight, but if you can learn how to pose with the Revoltech joints, this Revoltech line is still one of the best lines for Evangelion fans. And by 33 euros that you can get it at HobbyLink Japan or Hobby Search, it should be no surprise that he's getting my low budget otaku seal of approval. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and hit that little bell icon to always know when the new video is up. Let's reach 1000 subscribers. I'm leaving you with some photos of the figure, and see you in the next review.
Oh yes.
See you next time.
Do